Dana Osgood is in for Ryan Breton today. I feel like this would be a good time-lapse video day for someone's yard to see just how much the snow went down.
Go away. I'm a little sad about it. Yeah. I know that some of the snow has kind of turned into ice at this point, like especially along like the edges of roads and sidewalks.
That's solid.
It's not like the nice snow, but it's still a little sad to see it go.
Slowly disappearing.
Some places might get a little extra snow as we get overnight though, but for most of us, it was a pretty warm and almost spring-like day with our temperatures getting into the 40s, 50s in some spots, and a lot of fog to really hang around too. In some parts, especially through the mid-coast and eastern Maine, visibilities have dropped down into the underneath a mile, 0-mile visibility right now in both Augusta and Waterville. Therefore, the National Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory for all the areas here shaded in gray from the mid-coast through eastern Maine, because as we get closer to that evening commute time, those visibilities haven't improved. And that is because of the snowpack that we still have interacting with the warmer air. Temperatures overnight tonight will be dropping down into the 20s and teens, which means any of those wet surfaces from the snowmelt that we saw today will refreeze overnight. So keep in mind things might be a little bit slippery as we get into early tomorrow morning. Right now, most of us are not really seeing any active precipitation, just kind of the gloominess that's been hanging around. But within the next few hours, rain will start to pick up once again in areas of down East Maine as this system starts to depart. It's also going to bring in some much colder air from the north, which means some of this precip might actually switch over into some snow. And that's going to be down in areas of southern and western Maine to start. Most of those will just be flurries hanging in the air. But as we get to the mid-coast and eastern Maine, there's a good chance of a quick burst of snow that could drop about a trace to maybe a couple of inches up in areas of northern Maine, and that'll last as we get into early Friday morning. So I would say the morning commute might be impacted just a little bit in areas of down East Maine as we get into the morning on Friday. In the afternoon, it'll still end up being a mostly cloudy day, significantly colder and very windy. I think that's what you'll notice most about the day tomorrow is just how windy it is. Similar on Saturday, some upslope snow showers possible in the mountains, mostly cloudy, cold, and windy once again. Sunday, a little bit less so. So the wind gusts as we get into, I'll get into that in just a second actually. So for the snowfall that we would see, about 2 to 4 inches in far northern and eastern Maine, and a trace to about 2 up in the mountains and near Bangor down to the mid-coast. In terms of the wind, as we get into tomorrow, wind gusts upwards of 55 miles per hour in the afternoon on both Friday and likely Saturday as well. A little bit less on Sunday, but still going to be fairly breezy. Because of that, the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory. Marine forecast sees 8 to 11 feet, gale warning because of those winds hanging around. So in terms of our 7-day forecast, it was nice and warm today, but we'll get pretty cold as we get into tomorrow, into the weekend, as well as that wind hanging around. Brian and Amanda, I think those wind chill temperatures Friday and Saturday will have a very January touch to them. So even though we're about to spring forward, winter is still hanging around.
Yes,
Not
it
gonna
is.
Feel like it. Okay, Dana, thanks so much.